Hello, 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 everybody. Welcome to another edition of Speak That Talks. I am so excited, as always, to go live. And so I'm really looking forward to today's conversation. I'm going to be in and out. No special guests today. I just wanted to hop in, say hello, acknowledge that it is the last Thursday of April, and just to talk to everybody about something that I'll be focusing on next week. So go ahead, grab a few people, let everybody know Speak That Talks is on. Again, I'll be in and out, but check me out in 30 seconds. All right, all right, all right. Well, I see there's some people out there. So hello to everybody. So my name is Tiara M. Tucker, and I am the host and executive producer of Speak That Talks. And I'm also the founder of Speak That Movement, as well as Tiara PR Network. Speak That Movement is my 501c3 nonprofit organization that is truly on a mission to empower, equip, uplift, and inspire people, and with a focus on women empowerment, mental health, and social justice. So if you've been supporting Speak That Movement, thank you so much. Speak That Movement is actually doing some pretty, I would say, significant things in the landscape, considering all that's going on. So I would love for you to check out Speak That Movement, check out the website to learn more, speakthatmovement.com, and you'll see how Speak That Talks is a baby of Speak That Movement. So those of you who are tuning in for Speak That Talks for the first time, I just want to thank you so much. This is actually, believe it or not, the 52nd consecutive week of Speak That Talks. Like, I can't even believe that for 52 Thursdays in a row, I have paused to go live to talk about hot topics that, you know, some people may be afraid to talk about, topics that some people are very voiceful about. So the Speak That Talk started back on May 7th, 2020, when we were dealing with the social injustices that were so blatant, when we were dealing with COVID-19, and we were dealing with so many things. So I remember just pausing on that day 52 weeks ago. And since then, there have been so many topics, and I'm not going to go into them because I want you all to come back next Thursday for the 1 year anniversary of Speak That Talks. I'm really looking forward to it. I'll have a few surprises. And so I'm just really looking forward to highlighting an entire year of tackling challenging, sensitive, controversial, fun, uplifting, inspiring, and motivating topics. So it's been all around the moon with the topics. So make sure you all check it out next Thursday. So also, for those of you who don't know, I'm the founder of Tiara PR Network. So check out my PR firm, tiaraprnetwork.com, and let me know how I can help you out. So I want to shout out, I see we have some people on. So if you are not on the Facebook or YouTube page, come on over to Speak That Movement on Facebook or YouTube. Again, come on over, Facebook or YouTube. Join us live on Speak That Movement. So I'm excited to see who's on. I actually thought I was going to drop in and drop out, but there are some people on. So hello, hello, hello. Karen, representing Peoria, Illinois. Always a pleasure to see you on. Hey there, Sheena. How are you doing? Silver Life member, NAACP. Let it be known. Thank you for tuning in, representing Texas. And yes, 52 weeks And Miss Sheena, I know you've been around. You were on an episode. We were talking about Say Their Names and some social justice and Black Lives Matter efforts. So thank you for tuning in. Karen, you've been on a couple of times as we talked about the presidential debate as well as the presidential election. So always a pleasure to see you. And hello, Miss Lanita. How are you doing, Miss Lanita? Miss Lanita is an executive board member of Speak That Movement. And I have to shout her out because she has definitely been in full support of Speak That Movement and all 52 weeks of Speak That Talk. So great to see you on. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen that are out there, I see you in different cities. Thank you so much for tuning in. So today, I just wanted to pop in real quick. Again, thanks for jumping on. So I really want to give a quick recap of April. So April has been a very diverse year for the Speak That Talks. Very diverse month for the Speak That Talks topics. So if you've been watching, you might have tuned in when we had a show about sex trafficking. So this was a topic that I had never talked about on any of my platforms, but it was a much needed conversation. I was blessed to have an amazing guest on who has unfortunately experienced sex trafficking. And she is what I would consider a victim. Not a victim. She is someone who once was a victim, but now she is one who is using her voice and she is empowering people about sex trafficking. It doesn't matter if you're a woman, a girl, a man, or a boy. Sex trafficking is something that is really just widespread, not just in the United States of America, but around the world. So I'm so pleased to say that she's using her voice to talk about it. So make sure you check out the Speak That Movement YouTube or Facebook page to check out that episode with the special guest speaker. And yes. So last week, if you tuned in, I had another special guest speaker. So we talked about social justice. So last week was pretty significant because it was shortly after, everybody was watching the outcome of the George Floyd murder case. And we all were able to witness the trial with Derek, and we saw a taste of victory. He was definitely, he was charged, obviously, and he was guilty. Guilty verdict, 3 charges. And so soon we'll be watching to see what his sentencing will be. So definitely a huge victory for the family of George Floyd. So shout out to that family, shout out to the attorneys and to all of the people around the world who were in full support of that case, because I truly believe, and I'm sure everybody out there can agree with me, that George Floyd, his situation, the timing, the details of it, just all of it will go down in history as a very pivotal moment in the social justice movement as well as the racial justice movement. So continue to watch, and shout out to all of the advocates and the activists out there and all the community people who are just playing a major role in this fight for social justice. So when we think about social justice, yes, Sheena said she watched the entire trial. So I needed to have had you on last week to give your recap on all of that. And you are right, Karen, justice was served. So it was served, and we need to see way more murders in that way. But it is definitely a step in the right direction. So speaking of social justice, Speak That Movement was very proud to release our newest social justice platform called Speak Their Stories, where we shared the story of Daviri Robinson, who was actually murdered by police in March 27th of 2019. He was murdered by police outside of New Orleans, and still to this day, his family, his mother, Arlene, his sister, India, they're still fighting for social justice. No court date, no arrests, nothing. So we will continue to fight and be supporters of this social justice movement because it is really needed. So last but certainly not least, what leads us up to today, I just wanted to pause and just quickly talk about racial justice. So the reason why I really wanted to bring up racial justice is because, we think about social justice, we think about, wealth, privileges, opportunities, the list goes on when it comes to social justice. And racial justice is something that, we can't be blinded by it, right? Racial justice is something that, unfortunately, in 2021, we're still dealing with issues dealing with race, what people look like, people still being discriminated because of their race, people still not getting fair opportunities because of their race. It is such a deeply rooted issue that goes beyond treatment and what people look like, but policies, practices, actions, beliefs, and attitudes, and so much more. So I'm very curious to know what some of you out there feel about racial justice. What does it mean to you? I'm really excited to announce that over the next few days, I'll be a moderator for some very, 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 I would say, much needed conversations in the community. And so I would love to invite you all out to check these events out. So in particular, there's an event this Saturday, and I am honored to be the moderator and the MC. It's an event hosted by A Motivating Love, which is a nonprofit in Dallas. So this is their 5th anniversary event. And this is actually my 2nd time being the MC for the event. And this particular event, timing could not be any better because the keynote speaker is Mr. Ibram. And he is the author of several books. I'm showing this here because it shows him gracing the cover of Boston Magazine for the month of March. So he is the Boston University Center for Anti-Racist Research. So he is the director of that, doing amazing things. And some of you may have heard of his book, How to Be an Anti-Racist. That's one book. The other book is Stamped from the Beginning. So pretty thick book, but a lot of history there. And another book that he wrote is Anti-Racist Baby. So I'm going to be honest with you all. I'm still like looking at just the front cover of the other two, but I did finish this one. So it was a quick read, but it was a good read. So I am looking forward to this Saturday, interviewing Mr. Ibram, having an amazing conversation with him. We are going to tackle the conversation about racial justice. We're going to talk about racism. What does it mean to be an anti-racist? And most importantly, how do we grow? So shout out to A Motivating Love for your always Mother's Luncheon on this Saturday. I hope that you all can check it out. You can go to amotivatinglove.org for more information and to register. I'm also excited about another event taking place on Tuesday. So this particular event is brought to you by the Multicultural Leadership Institute, and they're presenting their Racial Justice Panel, a virtual event called Be a Force for Good. And this event consists of 3 panelists, Mr. Javier, Mr. Dante, and Miss Rachel. So I'm really excited about this particular event because it will definitely be a great conversation. Leaders from across the United States will be listening in, as well as just other community members. So it's a very diverse panel, and I am simply honored to be the moderator of this particular panel. So I would love for all of you out there to check out the events and And if you want more information, go to motivatinglove.org, as well as bn-mclp.org event. So check them out. Again, if you are interested in learning more about racial justice and what we can do as people, as individuals, as communities, these will be two amazing events. And I'm not just saying that because I'm moderating them. I'm saying that because I know the organizations that are putting them on have put a lot of time into creating these events. And I'm very, very, very excited about them. So I hope you all can check them out. And so as I close, again, I said I want to keep this one short and simple. I just want everybody out there to just think about, what does racial justice mean to you? It's going to mean different things to different people. I think it's a question that we need to continuously ask ourselves. Our thoughts will evolve. My thoughts are evolving, and that's why I'm really being a good steward. I'm doing even more research. I'm reading because I really want to be equipped for these panels and these conversations coming up. And then also, I want to be a student. I want to be a good listener, because that's how we're going to get change. We have to be still and be silent sometimes to listen, and that allows us to use our voice and be even louder. So thank you in advance for anybody who's going to check them out, and those of you who want to check back in next Thursday when I give you a recap on them. So I'm just going to close out with we have to do the Speak That Movement speed round. I do it every single week. This is the point in the Speak That Talk show where I share the platform. I offer the platform to the guest speakers, and they share their thoughts on what dream it, believe it, speak it, and walk it mean to them. So for the sake of the topic of racial justice, I'm going to do something different this week, and I'm going to close us out with my thoughts on the 4 pillars of Speak That Movement as it pertains to racial justice. So I'm going to start with Dream It. So when I think about Dream It, I think there's no time greater than now to dream it. Dream big about racial justice. I know for some of us, it may seem like it is only going to be a dream, right? Because Dr. King has been talking about dreams. We're still listening to him, and he is long gone, rest in heaven, Dr. King. But he had a dream many, many, many years ago where he prayed about and had a vision for a world where we would not be judged by the color of our skin. He was marching and protesting for racial and social justice back then. And here we are, years later, still dreaming about it. But I would encourage everybody out there to continue to dream big, because there will be a time where we will see, I would say, times where we are not judged by the color of our skin. And that doesn't mean if you're black, if you're brown, if you're white, whatever it might be, because it goes all ways. It's not just a black-white thing when it comes to race and when it comes to racial justice. So continue to dream the dream that Dr. King dreamed many, many years ago. But we have to go beyond dreaming. We have to believe it. We have to believe that things will change. We have to believe that people will not look at people and judge them based on the color of their skin. We have to believe that people will not be passed up by job opportunities and career advancements because of what they look like. We have to believe that there will be systematic changes. We have to believe that there will be policy changes, that there will be practices from the White House down to our local offices that will truly promote the racial justice policy changes that we need. So we have to believe that we can live in a world where people can have changed thoughts. People can change their ways. People can go from ignorant to more knowledgeable. And we have to believe that grace exists, right? Some people may not have the emotional intelligence level to truly understand how they're thinking, how they're reacting, and how they're treating people, and also how they're feeling when they're in those situations. So let's believe that change can come. And then also let's speak it. You know, I'm going to continue to speak it. So I just encourage people to use your voice, right? And again, that doesn't mean that you have to go out there and do something that makes you feel uncomfortable, or do something that will put you in an awkward or a bad position. But I just want to say, use your voice. And if that's your internal voice, if that's you speaking to yourself and you're telling yourself that your skin is more than who you are, right? You know, we're more than just being black or brown or white. We're people. We're amazing people. We're brilliant people. So continue to use your voice, and also use your voice to speak out against racial injustices and to speak up for racial justice, racial equality, and racial equity. And then also, last but certainly not least, it's time to walk it. Walk it. And when I say walk it, I mean walk it. Walk it unapologetically. Like, in my opinion, long gone are the days of feeling like we can't say what we feel when we're feeling something. And we can't, you know, do those things that make us feel better by speaking up or walking out or making a difference. Let's walk it when we vote. Let's walk it at the polls. You know, there's local and statewide and national elections, right? Vote. That's how you walk it. You walk it when you see something that isn't right, and you speak out, right? And again, that doesn't mean do something that'll put you in jeopardy or in danger, but do what works for you. Whatever works for you. Your walk, it can be just praying for change. Your walk, it can be having a conversation with your loved ones about change. Your walk, it can be talking to your coworker or your coworkers. Your walk, it can be having a conversation with people that do not look like you to understand their thoughts and their viewpoints and their perspectives. Your walk, it can be whatever you want it to be. But whatever you do, be unapologetic about it, because whenever you're doing right and you have a good heart, I believe it works out in the end. And thank you. You're right. Your vote is your voice. You are so right about that, Karen. Yes, Sheena, vote. Yes, speak life. So thank you, ladies, so much. And thank you to everybody else that's out there listening. So as I close out, I just want to thank you all for tuning in. If you're around next week, please check out the 1-year anniversary, Thursday, May 6, 2021. Facebook and YouTube Speak That Movement page. It's going to be a celebration of just acknowledging 1 year of topics and guest speakers from all over the world. So looking forward to it. Join us for the 1-year celebration. And to learn more, go to Speak That Movement, www.speakthatmovement.com, where you'll learn about Speak That Talks, Speak That Movement, as well as Speak Their Stories. So as I close out, I want to close out with a quote. I really like it because I believe that out of different quotes that I was looking at when I was just thinking about how can I continue to strengthen and extend my thoughts and my level of thinking about racial justice, I came across this particular quote. And I believe that if I were to ask Mr. James Baldwin, what does racial justice mean to him? I think this will be part of his answer. Not everything that is faced can be changed, but nothing can be changed until it is faced. Again, not everything that is faced can be changed, but nothing can be changed until it is faced. So as we face racial injustices, and as we face social injustices, that is when we can see change. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I appreciate you all more than you know. And as always, may God bless you and may God protect you. See you next week. Thank you. Take care.